Yes, Good afternoon and welcome to the Chouteau County Library Board of Trustees May meeting. Please be sure to sign in and grab the agenda if you haven't done so already. I call this meeting to order at noon. Are there any additions to the agenda? I have two things that I'd like to add that I wasn't able to add in time. This is just for discussion. One would be HR bill discussion. We received a new bill. If we could put that under the HR proposals, and it won't be an action item, it'll just be a discussion. And the second would be an AED placement and our remaining two branches. And if that could be item G on unfinished business. And since these are just discussions, we'll move into public comment. This is items on the agenda. Please remember to state your full name and keep all comments to 3 minutes. If you please step up to the microphone in order to make any public comment on items on the agenda. Okay, seeing as there is none, we'll move into our consent agenda. This is an action item. So could I please have a motion to approve the consent agenda? This is including our March and April meeting minutes as well as financial reports.
I make a motion to accept the March and the April meeting minutes and financial reports.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Is there any discussion? Is there any public comment? It's been moved and seconded to accept our consent agenda as presented to us. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? A motion carried. We'll move into branch reports, starting with, is Big Sandy online?
I am.
Good morning, Darlene.
In April, we celebrated Easter and National Library Week with a variety of fun activities. We had our button pins and hosted a stuffed animal sleepover, which was a big hit. To wrap up the week, we enjoyed cookies and juice in celebration of the library. We attended MLA, where we learned a great deal and was glad that we got to go. Throughout the month, we featured books on autism awareness and poetry, and encouraging patrons to explore and share their favorites with the highlighting of poems. And we've been working on summer reading and getting all of our library loot boxes together and getting people signed up and registered for summer reading.
Thank you, Darlene.
Yep.
Bart Benton.
Themes for April included libraries, Easter, spring, poetry, conservation, 406 Day, novels in verse, gardens, and South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Nigeria. We celebrated National Poetry Month with a poetry reading night, hosted our final bingo for the season with plant bingo, plants for everyone, as well as our open house and a potluck meeting for our friends of the library.
Thank you, Robin. Sammy Joe, are you available?
Yes, I am. Themes for the library in April were Easter, flowers, poetry, spring, rain, rainbows, Earth Day, astronauts in space. I've just been finalizing summer reading projects and starting to reach out to local businesses for donations towards prizes.
Thank you, Sammy Joe. We'll move into our director's report.
So director report for May for staff engagement and communication as directed by the board. In May, I made 2 site visits to each branch library. The first visit was a drop-in visit due to scheduling, and the second was a regularly scheduled visit. I was able to connect with staff members one-on-one to support communication, accountability, and team development. During the visit, the atmosphere felt calm and professional and conversational. I'm doing my part to reach out and make myself available for staff communication, collection management, and team involvement at the all-staff meeting on April 30th. We all attended the Montana State Library Zoom item life cycle presentation. This was to make sure that all staff are actively involved in collection management. We all got the same information directly from the state at the same time, and staff were able to ask questions at that time. I have asked branch librarians to continue to pull books from their respective libraries that they feel no longer have a place at that location. We have been able to replace books at other branches as well as fill in specific authors and series as needed. The shared Google list is working. Some staff are still only adding specific titles, and I've requested that general subjects, authors, genres, and audience be requested to make purchasing decisions more efficiently. And there are still some staff push back with working collaboratively among all staff. Going into more detail for our all staff meeting recap, we were able to meet here in Fort Benton on April 30th. Like I said, the state library item life cycle presentation. Nancy LaChapelle came and did a QPR, which is suicide prevention training, and Narcan. So we were able, she did that training, and then she also covered the summer Backpack Buddies application with everyone. They were able to fill out their applications at that time, so we already have those checks. And food orders have started being made. We watched a communication video, took some notes on that. We have a new stats that we are going to be taking starting in the fiscal year that's coming from the state library, which I will talk about during the Pathfinder part. I took budget numbers to each branch at one of my May site visits to talk about what was left and what supplies, operating things, books needed to be ordered. And then a summer reading roundtable to talk about what the different branches are doing. I wanted to have another all staff meeting before summer reading, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So we're going to look at a date either in August or September. The Montana Constitution Roadshow came here to Fort Benton on May 12th. We had about 30 people that evening. Cheryl was there. We had some local high school students who had heard the presentation in the morning and they came back. That's how much they enjoyed it. I've only heard positive feedback from the community members that have reached out. Pathfinder meeting was on May 7th. It was a success as far as my hosting duties, lots of food, plenty of room. Corey Sloan, our consultant, was on site. She gave the state library update. One major change that has gone through the commission is the continuing education process. Only directors are required to participate in that certification, and trustees are encouraged. There are some new reporting standards for the next fiscal year, which that's what I had talked about with the staff. We need to still decide by July 1st what that's going to look like in practice. And the state library is exploring AmeriCorps volunteer usage. And Jesselyn volunteered to be on the executive committee. AED installation, Bruce Newell, he is a member of the Trust for Montana Libraries, was on site here Monday, May 18th to install the AED as well as the Narcan box that we had gotten from our health department. It's upstairs next to the bathroom if anybody wants to look. I'm working on getting training for all staff as well as pursuing the avenue for the AEDs for Geraldine and Big Sandy. So that's what I have. Thank you.
Can I make some comments?
Sure.
Okay, this is from the papers that you sent out each week or each month to us from you. What do you call them? Recaps or?
Just go over reporting.
Okay. This is, let's see, I have a few. I only have 5 or 6, so I'll try to make it very fast. Okay. I just noticed, I'm just commenting, a board member made a comment that there would be cameras in Big Sandy in the meeting room. Well, then later, it says the board member was misspoken. And that caused, if she hadn't done that, that caused a terrible upset in Big Sandy. And that's probably where all the letters came from and the comments and stuff. And I'm just saying we should really be careful what we really if we were really speaking the truth when we say something, okay? Let's see what else. All right, you were up, the director met with the patron May 4th. And, she had a book. And then, on the thing from Emily, it says, I am not sure if they asked the librarian about it, but she should have been able to answer that question. So then sometimes though, the director tells us that the patrons should talk directly to the director. So I find that a little, I would like to know if that's always or not, or is it everything that you should talk to the director? It's been mentioned before, okay?
Emily to respond,
Do you want to respond, Emily?
for
Huh?
communication that way? That's what you're asking.
Yes, yeah, is that what you want? That everyone should go, if they have a question, whether it's a book or, I don't know, does it need to go through you?
So the initial question was when the book was added to the collection, which is available for staff to be able to answer that very specific.
Question.
That book went into the Big Sandy Library in 2021.
Mhm.
So the patron was under the assumption it had come in earlier this calendar year. So that question itself is in workflows and can be answered by frontline staff. The concerns with the book do come back with the content of the book or why it's in the collection do come back to me. So two separate questions.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, let's see. Okay, you mentioned, the director mentioned that when you had your, meeting here, your all staff meeting, there was. Where did it go? There's too many. The meeting is on page 3. It says the meeting is to build team development. It is difficult to build any kind of teamwork when individual staff members refuse to participate. Or this includes randomly getting up to walk around the room and refusing to talk during discussion time. Well, I would just like to say in her defense that it's freezing in this room. And it's really cold down here. When you sit for a long time, it can be very cold, and I'm sure that's why sometimes people have to walk around, maybe stretch their legs, but also because they're cold.
Okay.
Okay? All right, let's see. Emily, do you think drop-in visits with no notice, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's fine.
So it's okay for you to go, to Big Sandy and not tell them that they're coming? That's
Yes.
okay? Okay, all right. Maybe that's all. So, you know. Oh, I'm sorry, this is all messed up.
Do you have any further questions?
No,
for her?
I don't think,
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay, is there any other further questions regarding the director report?
I just have a couple. So I went through them as well and I ran out of paper, so I wasn't able to copy them all off, but I see that the only person that you emailed following an on-site visit is to Darlene. There are no emails, at least that you provided us, to Sammy Joe. Why is that?
Due to past requests for clear communication and in writing. Sammy Jo has not requested that.
Okay, and have you found the emails to be effective?
I believe that the communication via email is getting better than it has been in the past.
Okay, and I see that after each one, you always comment about whether or not Darlene responded. Have you indicated to her that you expect a response?
That's what I've been trying to ask.
Well, it isn't in any of the emails, so have you,
Well, oftentimes there are questions within the emails.
okay. I don't have all of them, so
Okay.
I take your word for it.
Okay, I can
And-
make sure to add that in each email if you would like.
Well, it's not what I like. It's what you would find to be the most effective communication. I mean, isn't that the point?
Yeah.
Okay, and so, I just noticed that you always comment that she did or she didn't respond, and so if that's your expectation, I mean, don't you think that part of communication is expressing what you expect from the other person?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe it would be a good idea to indicate that you do. If nothing more than got your email, thanks, or I have no questions, or whatever, some response is what you're
Yes.
expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then it might be good to say that more
Okay.
than just at the beginning, because. Okay, and then in the one email, I just want I'm sorry, I think it was in the week of April 16th, but somehow, as I said, I ran out of paper, so, which of course happened today, which of course. Yeah, and, it says, at this point, no, this is part of the consistent bi-monthly site visits that I do each month. So maybe it's the week of April 6th and 10th, maybe it's later, I'm not sure. Because I'm not sure with what the date is that I printed this out. At any rate, it seems to me that you're addressing your concerns to Jesselyn, but you're apparently quite frustrated with the monthly Zoom meetings. And so have you discontinued the Zoom meetings with Darlene?
No, we just actually scheduled one for next week today.
Okay, because in this you expressed some concern that it was causing anxiety in Darlene and that you were having a hard
Right.
time getting a
So
schedule.
I had done them, as requested last year. And then did discontinue them because it was doing that, but then at my evaluation, it was presented that that was one of the things I needed to work on was follow through and that I had discontinued that. So it was my understanding, which Jesselyn and I then have discussed. That if it didn't work, I shouldn't do it, but that was inconsistent information from the board. Darlene and I were able to meet in person instead of a Zoom because she wasn't able. One week she let me know that she was gonna be out, so we met in person, but today she responded right away to my request to have one next week to go over the meeting, and it seemed fine and better than it's been in the past. So I'm hoping with that consistency that it will lead to improved communication.
Wonderful. And then, you, in this, again, I apologize for not knowing the date, but I have been counseled again and again from a variety of sources that I have one boss, the board chair, not 5 bosses. So
That's a good one.
who, can you give me some examples of who counseled you?
From the state library and from Chris Goss, like we had talked about before.
So,
Actually, so I think maybe I clarified that, so it's, we communicate for the day-to-day, those kind of
Mhm.
things, but as a whole, we work as a whole, as your
Yes.
mom is right, so
Mhm.
I think maybe that's misread, that I'm not your one boss, I'm just your communication.
Right, it's more for, if I'm
Guidance.
on site at any given location, if there are trustees there or people emailing me individually about, stuff, that it should come through Jesselyn outside of meeting time, was my understanding.
So so let me see, you're saying that we should not email you? Are you saying that?
No,
No,
I don't believe that's what you're saying,
no?
right?
Well,
I mean, everybody can email you questions, that's.
yeah,
part of being on
questions.
board.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, and will I do when you're done? I have one more on that subject, on this subject. Are you,
no, go ahead, you can, I'm gonna go back to this, but you can go ahead.
well, she says the director says she has one boss instead of 5. Well, we act as a whole. MCA 22-1-310-39. The director works directly with the trustees as a whole. The library board only has authority when it acts collectively as a body, as a corporate body. An individual trustee, like the chair has, one of us has no personal authority or power over the director unless the full board is there to vote. Let's see what else. It is defined as the board has the board has a relationship with the director, not the other way around.
So I
Yeah.
think what she's referring to though, do you also remember our training in October? I just lost his name.
Adam Jespers, yeah.
And he pretty clearly said that the board and board, or excuse me, the director and board chair have a different relationship than the director and the entire board.
Not through the state.
Just in, just. Anyways,
So.
do you remember that part?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
And so it's not, I'm not, when I communicate with Emily, it's nothing to do with library business at all, that we would vote for as a.
So why did you say, Emily, then, that you're only going to send these little letters out to her? Did you, that's in here somewhere. You're not going to send the full, these letters, these things.
So I did say that at one point, Nona, and then Jocelyn and I spoke, and then I sent every single one that I've sent to her to the entire board.
And you'll continue.
I will continue.
Okay, thank you, because that when it says it here, I never know whether, you sent them all together, so there was a lot of
Right.
reading.
Yes.
And so
And
you'll
so moving
continue.
forward,
Uh-huh.
they will come out to everyone every time I send one.
Every month, kind of
Every
thing.
other week, Emily has. a
Okay.
meeting with.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Well, that answered my question because I was wondering if you were clear on what your understanding is that is to be accomplished
Yes.
by this. Do you find these helpful? Or a waste of time?
It's documentation, which I find helpful.
And that's the purpose.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I find them helpful.
Good.
Yeah. I do.
Is there anything you would like to do differently?
I think
As
I
far as
need
reporting?
to keep doing, I mean, it's only been 2 months about, so.
End of March, April,
So
May.
all of
Yeah.
April and all of May.
And do you find that since the goal is, as you've pointed out over and over in these, that it's to support communication, accountability, and team development, do you find that getting together with your staff as often as you do to be helpful towards that end as well?
Yes.
And do you feel like they need to document as well back to you or do anything like that?
That's up to them. If they would, that's what I've been trying to do with those responses about thank you for letting me know, or thank you for reaching out.
And do you get any documentation from any of the staff?
A bit. I'm not sure.
I think something helpful with that I've learned is to give a specific date of when you
Yes.
would want a
Yep,
response.
and that's what I actually sent, that email I sent out today.
Perfect.
Is very specific.
And so I guess we'll see the next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's the point of the monthly check-ins, and so we are still at the very beginning of this process.
Any other questions?
I do have a question about the collection and, please forgive me, I'm trying to still understand the whole process. So, you had mentioned that Maren went with you to Big Sandy.
Mhm.
Does she go with you to Geraldine
Yes.
too then?
Mhm.
Okay, and do these, when you say for the collection purposes, explain to me what that means.
So that's to be on site. In-person conversations are much different than over email or
Sure,
even over
sure.
Zoom.
Mhm.
And so to be able to physically go into like the young adult nonfiction section and say, let's take a look at this. What do we see that maybe is missing or that we have too many of, or something that's different? And to be able to go through that. And then if there are books that need to be moved,
Sure.
things like that, then to be able to do that on site and have that in-person face-to-face communication
Mhm.
leads to a deeper understanding.
Understandable.
So
So why does Maren go with you? I guess that's the part I'm not understanding.
because she has been, the assistant director has been in charge of collection,
Okay.
cataloging, I'm sorry, since the system's been computerized.
Okay,
So it's
is
a-
she still in
Um,
charge of that?
right now, yes,
Okay.
but we're working towards that.
Towards the
Next step.
individual libraries doing
Mhm.
their own? Okay, I remembered that conversation earlier, and so I was just
Mhm.
confused. So-
Yeah.
So that will eventually cease, then she travels with you to those as the lady?
No, I mean, if we're talking about full staff team collaboration
Mhm.
all around, it might not be as often, but
Okay.
still occasionally.
Well, that raises another point because and I could have missed it. But I didn't see in any of your reports, anything other than possible weeding occurring so far. So are we taking it step by step or,
Yes.
okay,
And
and
that's part of adding those books to that shared list is that communication piece, trying to get it more in. I mean, it's written down, so then both sides, Sarah has kept a very good, you were asking about documentation on that, and Sarah has been keeping track of that on her end. So we've been working together on the computer, but that in-person piece is also important to be able to communicate as a full staff.
are you talking about the Google
Yes,
stuff? So, but that's just weeding, isn't it?
no, that's additions to the collection.
Oh, it is
Purchasing.
Okay, I missed.
The list does not include anything to be weeded. I've directed the branch librarians to set aside books that they feel no longer belong in their collection, and then we talk about them. And then we bring them and we look to see, like the last time I brought books back from Big Sandy, we were able to replace copies of ours that were more worn and add some books over in Geraldine where there had been interest in certain authors or to fill out series.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so nothing yet on cataloging,
No,
no training of any kind.
well, we went over the item life cycle. I mean, that was a step in that process.
You went over the what? You didn't finish this.
Item life cycle presentation
That
was a first step, or was a step, I don't want to say a first step, but a step towards that finish.
That was at MLA, correct?
Well, Sarah and Maren had gone to it at MLA, and then that was the Zoom that we watched all together.
Oh,
at
all
the staff
together.
meeting.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay,
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you too for answering my question.
Thanks for all that clarification. Okay, there's no specific announcements and dates to remember, but I did want to just put a shout out to, summer celebration and the lighting. Demonstration is gonna be upstairs and the examples of lighting for our foundation. So just keep that in mind, that's gonna be coming up.
Say again, please, Jess.
Summer celebration,
Yes.
there will be a poster showing the different lighting options that are going to be present upstairs.
Okay.
I just wanted to put a little reminder in that. And then we'll move into unfinished business. Starting with policy review. Before we get started, I just wanted to add Cheryl to the policy committee, since she has shown interest in that, and Kim will be soon leaving us, even though she's done a great job. Since we're losing her in July, I think that would be a good addition if you're still up for that, Cheryl.
Yes.
Thank you. So then we'll start with forfeiture of library privileges. That's not in our packet, but it is in our binders. If you don't have it in front of you already.
Well, I can report on the committee meeting. I don't know that we even discussed the forfeiture of library privileges because I think that we had pretty much agreed that what was presented at the last meeting was what we were recommending to the board.
Right.
So at this time, then I guess if the board has any concerns about what we have put together as a committee, now would be the time. So.
Could I ask, what does the yellow, probably dumb question, what does the yellow mean?
That was what was added from the previous policy that was on file.
Thank you.
So
That's why these are all just readings and not action items.
that's what I was gonna say then. If we're all okay with the forfeiture of library privileges, we'll move that to an action item for next board meeting.
Okay.
And then we'll move into internet workstation etiquette.
So I will again continue to report on the committee. This was something that was added, we didn't really talk about it at the last meeting, from my recollection. And, so it was kind of a surprise to me to be presented with it at the, I mean, I was informed because of course the notice went out that it included that. But, and so it might just be my lack of memory, but, it's a one-page document that is posted. And there was some discussion at the committee meeting that it's not really policy, that, I think Kim said that, and that it's procedure, and maybe we didn't even need as a board to address it. I'm not sure about that. I feel like since we address the rules of behavior, which is also something that is posted in the library, that we would want to at least review it and maybe incorporate it into our internet policy as a whole, sort of like what we do with the rules of conduct on our forfeiture. And then we just really didn't continue it. So you can correct me, Cheryl, because you were present, but, and unfortunately Kim is not present, but my recollection is that we have no recommendation at this point with regard to the internet workstation etiquette, except that we should keep it. We
Well,
shouldn't.
and when I was reading it over the last week, I wondered if it would be good to just join it to the internet use and safety policy. I mean, there's a lot of redundancies, but maybe that's a better place for it than its own policy. It's more of an extension of the internet use and safety policy when I read over both of them.
And I think the reason that it got separated out is because it is posted, is my understanding.
Sure.
It's posted in every library, like the
It
rules
should.
of conduct.
Yes.
Yeah. And so it's something that is readily available to be read by the public. Sure. Or the patrons. And so, yeah, so that's the situation with the internet workstation etiquette. And I guess it says it's second reading, so I guess they must have talked about it last.
We looked at it at last meeting.
No recollection. I mean, I remember the committee meeting.
I didn't really see any corrections that needed to be made so that
We really didn't get that far. No.
Would you
can
go
go
back to committee?
Yeah, we can go back to committee with that for its third reading and then possibly action item. I would keep it as is if that's. Unless the committee does request something different when they review it.
Well, I think it's okay to go back to committee, don't you? Maybe we can get it in when we can still.
So it'll
That'd be
just
great.
Committee and do third reading and not
Do you want it to be, it can be potential?
potential action item,
Yeah.
sure. So then we'll move into the,
June.
sorry.
At the end of, June 30th, so she theoretically should be here for one more meeting, yes.
So then we come to the Chouteau County Library security camera policy. So we did not start from the beginning. Emily had provided us a security camera policy that she had obtained from another library, Hamilton, I believe. And so we took that policy and we made it our own, so to speak. And so what you're looking at is the changes that we made to that policy and the additions that we then wanted to see added. And there was one point, and it's apparently in green on this sheet that she gave us. And it says, so let me explain what we're doing here. We, down on the bottom of the page under use and disclosure of video records, it says, access to recorded data is limited to the director and or the chairman of the board of trustees. And then we identified those two people as authorized individuals. And then we carried through with the authorized individuals. So anywhere that you see authorized individuals, that is the reference, the director and the chairman of the board. And so, then when we got to, the one on the next page, which is the bullet point that's in green, it says the authorized individuals may use a still shot or blah, blah, blah. And then the next one is a copy of digital security data may be made available to law enforcement. We had, some discussion about the bullet point in green. And what we ultimately came to the decision was that we were going to let the whole board decide if the bullet point in green was necessary to be included in our policy. And some of us had opinions about that, but there was no agreement. So that's the reason it's in green. Should it stay in? Should it stay out? That's up to the board. How do I do?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sorry, Kim isn't here to make sure that, but I think that's pretty much it. Otherwise, we like it and we recommend we recommend that you adopt it as, but of course, that's up to you guys. So there you go. I will add to that we identified where the cameras are going to be. And we thought it was important, that's in the very first bullet point under security camera purpose and placement guidelines. We put that in because of the concerns that we heard at the last board meeting in Big Sandy. And so we thought that by putting it into the actual policy itself is, it would make it more secure in where they're placed. So.
Do you have a copy of this? No, it's at home somewhere.
Would you like
Is it-
I put one on each spot today.
Okay, all right, green one, yeah. I read it at home, I did read it, no, it's. Too much paperwork. No, it's okay, I read it,
Okay.
so,
The other thing that we thought was important is that there will be notices posted. Again,
did you help with?
because these will only be at the entrances. The postings will only be at the entrances, but with audio disabled. So there won't be any sound. And then, of course,
And Big Sandy's was inside, right? Is that- No, outside.
outside right here.
Okay. I know.
It says due to the structures of the branches at Big Sandy and Geraldine, cameras are mounted outside the entrances.
Okay.
Okay, and then just to make sure that mostly staff knows that anyone who violates this, any staff who violates this, it is subject to disciplinary action, which may result in termination. We thought that making it particularly stern would be make it strong enough so that people understood. It's curiosity and I mean, there's just a whole bunch of reasons why people like, and we all watch too much TV and we see how big a part recordings play and all the cop shows and stuff, but yeah, so.
My one question is, if there is criminal activity or damage or destruction to the library property in the different branches, then are those branches able to review, or does it always have to just go? That's what this is saying then, is that it goes to the director to review, right? Or the board chair.
Well, no, it says a copy of digital security data may be made available to law enforcement. It doesn't designate who turns that over. I think that, which is why again, we had the discussion about is the green, do we really want the green? Because I do think that if we keep the green, then it authorized individuals are the director or the chairman of the board. And so anything that gets reviewed has to be reviewed by the director or the chairman of the board as to whether or not it's turned over to.
Sure.
And so, we included the chairman of the board because, and this is subject to, the board can decide if we want to make it broader or narrower, but we decided that sometimes the director isn't always available. And we needed to have someone else that was available that could make a decision about something. And so,
That makes sense.
yeah,
And it should be someone on the board.
yeah, it should be someone on the board. We
Are in charge
were in
of that.
agreement about that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, but we didn't want to make it so broad either. So, yeah.
That's why you have 2 and 3 readings of a policy. You have to flush out the wording.
The green you're keeping? The green is in question?
That was a suggestion to
Okay.
delete.
Oh, okay, all right. And
And yellow
yellow,
was added
and then
and
those.
the cross out was
Yeah.
taken.
To think about the green more.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, it's
Um,
just the first
Yeah,
reading.
and I would encourage it to go back to policy committee just for its second time.
Okay.
So
Is there anything that anybody wants us to think about including that isn't included or that we haven't addressed?
There are no librarians that are in control of this, right? I mean, it's just,
But
Each branch will have access to their cameras.
okay,
that's what I was trying to ask, but
Yes, no, they have
if
access
there's
to.
criminal activity, they
Yes.
can
Oh,
to
yes,
notify you.
yes,
That's
yeah,
what I was trying to ask.
Okay.
yeah,
Is that,
for sure.
I'm not, where is that?
Well, and maybe we do need to clarify that
I would
because
say yes, because reading it, I did not get that.
I didn't either.
I don't know where you would.
it does say access to recorded data is limited to the director
That's the, yeah,
and or
like
the
long
chairman.
term, but
Long
no, but each
Yeah.
branch, everyone will be able to see what's happening
on their own
on,
branch side.
on their own.
Only
website.
makes
Well,
sense.
then I do think we need to
Yeah.
fix that.
Okay, so we'll just plan on that going back to policy for its second reading with, unless there's any other recommendations for the committee, ladies.
If you add that, if you make that clear, that the librarians,
Help.
okay, yes, that would be good.
You want that as potential action item or just a second reading?
It was just a second reading, you can put it a second. Thank you.
I think that was exactly the intention of the committee meeting is to get input from the
Yeah.
entire board. So.
Yes, for sure. Thank you. Okay, we're moving into the HR proposal.
And that's this, right?
Yes,
Okay.
so I wanted, and why I wanted to have a discussion about the most recent bill is because it gives an idea of what we're actually utilizing. As we've all been told, the commissioners have told us that we're responsible for whatever we accrue. So we did get another one for the past 3 months. And that came to about 220 per month, which is underneath.
Which one are we utilizing?
That would be the HR specialist then.
Okay.
For the
Which
last
would be the
3
three-
months?
Yes, without the utilization of the, we had the 75 on top. Review that we already approved. But I would say that was,
Have we been able to pay that?
no, because I wanted to discuss it with you all first before, because we do have appropriation left over. After speaking with the commissioners and Diana, because appropriation can be moved. And I can go into that detail if you want me to on where that would come from. I can speak with you about that later, and also you know more specifically. Where was I going with that? But I think that put us in this it caps it off for us for every month instead of going over the hourly wage. Like it can get pretty pricey, as we saw with our first bill, that the per hourly 220 can add up very quickly. Anyway, so I think that can cap it off, and this is a monthly, so we can take it as we see it, we can budget for it, and then if we decide that that is something we want to move away from in regard to having it at all, we can do that. We can say we don't want to keep on with the monthly amount. If that makes sense.
You're looking at this sheet right here, right?
Yes, yep.
Okay, and you said about 220 a month, but I didn't see
Well,
those numbers.
No, so that's what it about came to.
In the past, okay. I'm
This
sorry.
past 3
No,
months.
so she's 220, what I was trying to say is she's 220 per hour. If we don't cap it at the payment.
Okay.
So,
Oh.
I did not hear that.
Okay,
I heard per
I
month.
misunderstood that.
yes, I did not speak clearly, I apologize. And so,
That's why the bill's so big, the first one. Right?
yes, because that's what the commissioners had lined out there. And so she's offering this to us as a way to cap it, and that. What I was trying to say is the amount that we accrued over the past 3 months was around this $3.99. It's the same, we covered all those tiers. So I don't think we need to go into the HR department realm, if that makes sense, where it's $5.99 a month.
So the $3.99 gives us unlimited access and not paying an hourly fee. Is
Yes.
That's the bottom line of what
Yes.
you're saying?
It's a retainer, what they call a
Mhm.
retainer.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's been about our bill, but we've been paying per hour.
Yes.
So, we've always, since we've started utilizing HR, we've always exceeded the $3.99 a month.
Yes.
Okay,
And
so,
where I also liked it was it's still giving our employer coaching and guidance. So Emily would still have also be able to reach out to either Michelle or Corinne or not. Because I think that is important. They all have that, but
well, not only, I wanna make sure I'm understanding
yes,
this.
please.
Not only would Emily have this right, but the other staff would have that? Or
I
just?
think that
Emily?
goes into the other tiers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's an employee hotline, and that's HR department.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes.
I think you'll see. on the
Employee
chart
claim
here.
hotline.
Right. But we haven't really utilized that in the past year, I guess, now that we've had them working with us.
So the $3.99 would include this first column of checks, those items.
Yes.
Oh, I see, manager support hotline, okay.
So do you can I ask who uses?
As
this
of now,
service?
it's been me or Emily. I don't know that Emily has actually utilized her. It's been more me asking questions that Emily's brought to me.
I have not spoken to Michelle since last summer,
You've worked with Corinne on the,
just for my.
yeah,
email, so.
exactly. So, and that's what I was saying, is that I think it's, if she has questions for me that I can't answer, I ask Michelle on how to best guide Emily.
And what's your opinion on that, Emily? Has that worked? Because you talked to
Yes.
Jesselyn, and she's really good about getting your answers.
Yes.
It's timely.
And are you happy with that, Jesselyn?
Yeah, it's been very helpful for me to be able to best answer Emily and give her appropriate guidance. And Emily was great in putting that, this is the yearly cost then for HR here on our budget.
Oh, that's
That's
fabulous.
outside of what has been asked for in the past.
This budget?
Yes, for our
Yes.
professional services is that we're saying,
Yes.
yeah.
Not sure.
Many papers.
It came.
Do you want us to vote?
Yes, this is an action item.
Okay.
On which tier we would be utilizing. I am recommending the $3.99 at this point. And like that says, it's a monthly fee proposal, so it's not yearly. We're budgeting for the year, but we can cancel at anytime needed.
It is, can be canceled.
Yes, it's
Okay.
a monthly fee, so it's not something we have to
Okay.
have a,
I move that we, budget for a, retainer for the HR specialist of $3.99 a month.
I'll second that.
For the coming year.
I'll second that proposal.
is there any further discussion? Is there any public comment in regards to this action item? Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the retainer HR proposal. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And that passed. Okay, we're moving into the Big Sandy Branch Library Veteran Drainage Report.
So I included the bid from Cowboy Concrete that I talked about at the last meeting. It has a breakdown. I did not send that out. I didn't get it before I sent out the materials.
Okay,
Um,
it is listed active, correct?
I did this morning or today. Yep.
Oh, you gave it to us today?
Yes. There are a couple of people in Fort Benton that I would like to reach out to get a couple of more bids. If the board would be okay with that.
That's a great idea.
I agree.
Oh, I know I had, I saw it, it's about 19,000. Yeah. And this is just for gutters?
It's
No,
for
there's
concrete
concrete.
work
Oh,
and a
concrete.
ADA ramp and some different, some handrails, some different things.
And removal of old.
Right, yeah.
Oh, so it's not for gutters at all?
No,
Okay.
no,
It's
it's,
concrete.
see,
Yeah.
when
It's
Big
just all
Sandy,
the drain.
if I could talk a minute, they redid the street, Main Street. And there used to be a dip, so you could do handicap. There was little dips all over town, so you could get things in, unload your stuff and handicap. Well, they took those all out.
So it planed it down lower than,
Yeah.
and then there's a lift to get
Yeah,
to the ramp. I did take that to the commissioners after it happened and they felt that was a city issue. So we've been going back and forth between the county and the city trying to get it figured out. So I mean, I started talking to them over a year ago about that.
so would it be good to go to the city council and express an opinion or not, or
The city made it, it's my understanding,
the city did?
the city
Yeah.
made it clear that it's a county building, so it's a county problem. And the county made it clear to me that it's a city street, so it's a city.
So it's you, what we're doing, if you can get those two
Yeah.
possible.
In Fort Benton, it's a city issue. Like we put in new sidewalks in our house and they put the entrance
Yes,
ramp in.
yes. I have not been to a big city or Big Sandy city meeting,
Mhm.
but that's what Rick Darlington told me.
Well, maybe I'll go, just express an opinion.
Thank you, Nona.
Yep.
Okay, any more discussion for that report? All right, so now we're at board director goals. This is an action item. Emily's been working towards those. We just haven't formally approved them. So could I have a motion to accept?
Yeah.
Yep. Director board goals and, excuse me, director goals and board reporting.
Those weren't in this package.
Okay.
Is it this stuff?
It's
226
this.
goals for Chouteau County. Director goals.
Do you
Okay.
want to look at this, Cheryl? Sure.
I think, oh, yes, thank you.
It's from our. It's from
Excuse me.
our.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I move that we adopt the director goals and board reporting expectations.
Is there a second?
I second.
Is there any discussion? Any public comment? It's been moved and seconded that we accept the director goals and board reporting expectations. All in favor, please say aye.
Right.
All opposed?
So I just have one clarification, that I would like to suggest. When Emily submits to us her, her reports that we went over earlier, during the meeting, she's supposed to, provide us with measurable examples as well as what she's done. And so it would be, I think it would be helpful for us as well as maybe the staff and Emily, if she would do that. If she would say, you know, Darlene didn't understand. She was supposed to respond to my emails. We've cleared that up. Now she responds to every email. So that she doesn't have to provide us the response, but if she would say, so we know that there's been some progress made, I think that would be helpful. Okay?
Is that helpful for, I mean,
Well,
you're
I-
kind of doing that.
I tried to, I didn't really understand what the board was looking for with that comment.
Okay.
With measurable, like I don't.
Oh, I thought you meant with my comment.
No, with.
Okay, I'll try to be a little
No,
clearer.
how it's listed in there.
Yeah.
It's easy to say, please provide measurable
Yes,
results, and it's
I
an
know.
entirely
That's-
different thing to be able to.
Right,
To
I-
know what specifically you're looking for.
And that's, I think, what we're specifically looking for is that, you tried this, it worked, here's what the result was. Or you tried this,
Okay.
it didn't work, we're gonna discontinue it and try it another way.
So then, part of what I've been trying to be cognizant of is staff, privacy, as well as what is acceptable to do in a public format or in a public meeting. Within this format, with names being used and things, so if we get into. I mean, those are things that,
Well, and today was just a discussion of what this, I don't think we'll have a discussion like that again. It was more to clarify of what the expectations were. And I think it was very helpful to hear you say that you've been taking steps and then outlining those steps, because sometimes I don't feel like it's as clear in an email.
Okay.
If that's understandable. But to
that's,
hear you say that.
I guess
it's
why
like a
I've
step.
been
Yeah, yeah,
maybe not including that by name.
Yeah.
Is because I've been worried about that
no,
piece.
and
If
that's
there's a
perfect, and that's
public
correct.
records request or something, then if people's names are listed within that. Documentation, then that kind of gets into that area. With personnel and privacy.
Mhm.
I think that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. To not use, just use director and librarian and
Okay.
yes, I think that's good.
Okay, yeah.
Any further comments? Okay. We're moving into the trustee opening. I spoke with the commissioners last week. They hadn't had any formal applications yet. Thank you.
I think we may have received one in the mail this morning.
Okay.
I could not open it because it was addressed to the commissioners, but I will be turning that in this
Okay.
afternoon.
Perfect. Since our deadline is June 1st.
Yes.
Hopefully we do have one. You might be extending that is what I was going to say. Any other discussion in regard to the trustee opening? Okay, then we'll go to the Highwood survey.
Okay, so I turned in one more survey, but I guess I would welcome some input about this. We didn't put an end date on the survey. As you know, if people are usually gonna respond to a survey, they do so very soon, because otherwise it gets lost in your heap of mail and, then you're like, oh, well, and you throw it away if you don't. So, but I don't think that the response was as good as I was hoping, since we sent out about 225 and I think we got less than 50.
So with this one today, it brings it to 38.
Yeah, and so I would welcome anybody's suggestion as to whether or not, we should kind of do a public awareness of, if you haven't responded to the survey, we would appreciate your doing so within the next month or something like that to just kind of jog people to, maybe respond. Of course, I brought it up. We had a senior center meeting last Monday and I raised it, which is why I got another survey handed to me. But I don't know. I don't know whether it would do any good or not. But I'm willing to get the word out. I can put it in the school news, which is about to end. I mean, school is about to end. I think Thursday, school is out. And so, but we do have a monthly newsletter that goes to many people in the community. And I can certainly put a note up. Jessica at the post office has been very encouraging about it. So I can do something at the post office. If you think that's a good idea. If you don't, then 38 is what we have. So
Did you do the meet and greet thing? Do you think that would be good? Would that be helpful? You have that on the goals. Meet and greet in Highwood to hear community input.
That we were gonna do later in the summer.
Yeah.
Oh,
That could be a place where you invite more to fill out surveys.
Oh,
Wasn't I think
well,
that was-
we
And,
could.
and
Sure.
it says to get community input.
Mhm.
Yeah, meet and greet, snacks and chat.
Okay, well, that's scheduled for August right now.
It's
Okay.
not scheduled at all.
Oh, it's not.
That was just a point.
Oh,
That was
okay.
just a possibility of when it could.
Well, okay, well, let me think about August. August is sometimes a busy.
That's just when the Highwood, we're scheduled to be there, isn't it?
Right.
For the Highwood,
Oh,
The trustee meeting is scheduled to be
Oh,
in Highwood in August.
Oh, it is?
Yes,
Where would that
August
be
is a
held?
busy month.
at the senior center is where we have met.
In
The committee
past.
met at a couple of committee meetings. I've been at the senior center, but there's the hall too, I guess.
Yeah,
Or potentially at the school if it's not during school hours.
Yeah.
Or something. I mean, there's a couple of places.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Any of those places would work, I think. The only one I can't speak definitively about is the school, but I can speak definitively about the senior center and the hall, and I can tell you both of them are options. So, have to clear the days, but that would be it. So, but yeah, if you think that's enough, yeah, we can do it then. And there's no end. We didn't put an ending, like, don't send it if it's past this date, so. Or don't give
I
your
appreciate
opinion.
your idea of a community reminder and maybe then have a closing date, just one more rally of it. You're getting into the busy months of July and August in a farming community that I know it's gonna go out the window.
Well, and in August too, people are getting ready for
For school.
sports and school and, so, yeah, it's busy. So, I need a direction, what should I do? Should I just post something
Yeah,
at the post office?
mhm.
Yeah, and,
And then we have a closing date of June 30th and
okay,
call it good.
okay,
And then possibly for the online one as well then? Or is that just connected with the,
Well, I mean,
how did
it would be
add-
for both.
You're right, yeah,
Did you say June 30th?
yeah. How did we advertise for the online one is what I can't remember.
There was the QR code.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
on the letter.
on the letter,
That's,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so that'll still be available.
yeah.
So the 4th, just the 4th Wednesday in August, we will be meeting in Highwood.
Maybe,
Well, it's on our schedule. too.
It's on your
here on this schedule here.
and I will check on those dates and report back on
Where
in
we'll
June,
be.
yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa. Okay, so then, our last unfinished business was the AED placement. Alex Reed got a hold of me last week. She has received a grant for the Chouteau County, Chouteau County has received a grant for opioid abatement. Is what the grant is called, and so she has funds now available to place AEDs in the Big Sandy and Geraldine branch libraries if we approve that. She wrote a really nice article in the River Press that I just saw regarding that, and it explains it in greater detail if you want more information. But I just wanted to give you guys that information, and I haven't been able to connect with you about that, but then you won't have to look into.
Good luck over there, so.
Okay, and I know you can reach out to her at any time if you want to.
We've been
I just-
talking to her actually
Oh, really? Okay,
about training, so she just didn't mention that piece.
sure.
And that was no cost to us, it was
It's
just
through a
through the
grant.
grant.
Yep, and there's a large sum of money through that grant, and she said that AEDs would be available to be purchased for each branch that has not had one yet.
So, is this a mandatory thing or not?
The
Or-
AEDs,
Yes.
it was just part of the EOP that she gave us, like the number, I can't remember where it falls on the list, but it's one of the higher priorities for each branch to have. So I was really excited to hear that she did find money for that for us. We of course have to approve the placement, I think. If we want to accept that, but it is available, so that could be on our agenda for next month, please. Any other questions?
Excuse me, Jason, could I take a 5-minute break from the bathroom?
Sure.
Is that one fixed? Okay. Excuse me.
Okay.
Okay, so it's back, audio is back on.
We're now into new business, and we're discussing our fiscal year 2026-27 budget proposal. Emily just reminded me that we do have to have this approved by the middle of June. So we'll probably have to have, a special meeting in regard to that to approve that, which would be by Zoom.
Could be very quick, just a one item agenda to do that final approval.
So any questions you have between,
Well, I
For
do
today would be
have a
great.
question,
Yes, please.
and you know, once again,
here's it.
just feeling my way through this. On the last bills paid, I see that there was $280 to the River Press twice this last month.
That's another example. I think we talked about it at the last meeting. It's kind of like the energy bill. Sometimes just the way that Bethany gets the bill sent out.
And I just have noticed so often you have a lot of nice posts on Facebook about things, and I just question if this is something moving forward. I'm not challenging past budgets, but moving forward, if this is really necessary, if there's so many other ways in the.
I've gotten a lot of feedback from having that weekly ad, a lot of positive feedback, and I've budgeted for that in particular. It's very helpful. I know there's a lot of people that are not on Facebook and Instagram, and a lot of people have been stepping back from the amount of time they're spending online. And so I think it's,
Can we make it smaller?
all I can say is that I've budgeted for it and it's had positive feedback, and I think it's a very important. She often cuts us a deal on added color and has given us, it is actually less than what is normally charged for that size of ad. I've had some people reach out and say that they don't want it any smaller, the print in it. So I think it's important for. If I could just kind of go over this, is that kind of where some changes were at?
Is this the one you're going over?
Yes.
Okay.
So I waited, part of what took so long to get it out is I was waiting for the commissioners to make their COLA, cost of living adjustment, and they approved 76 cents for county employees. So that's what those numbers are based on. That very first line at the top of each of those pages is based on that. The Geraldine, I'm not sure why it didn't increase from what I budgeted for in the past, but the other two branches did. And then the unemployment insurance, workers' compensation, and FICA, that's all part of the equation. That is just how it works out. There's a big spreadsheet. As you can see on that Fort Benton page, that first page,
Excuse me, are we on page 89 of 126?
yes.
Thank you.
So there are those increases in that personal services, and then a decrease in travel. So that is there. And then the Big Sandy page, which is 90 of 126. And see those increases in the personal services. I looked historically at the telephone bill and had over budgeted in the past, so I was able to take a bit off that. And for travel, we had budgeted for MLA for Great Falls, so that's why that's a big decrease. And then we needed the increase in the 530, the rent. That is that rug service and the coffee machine. And then page 91 of 126. The personal services, that top part did not increase. And like I said, the unemployment insurance and the FICA, that's in the equation. Postage, we've just gone over a bit the last couple of years, so I wanted to note that. Electric, we're gonna be a little bit short this year, rising costs, and then for the telephone, they have a fax line, but then also for that travel was brought down a bit. The next page is revenue from the Federation Pathfinder grant. And then page 94 of 126, that technical services, that's where the hotspots would come out. I'm still waiting to hear back from a couple companies on the hotspots, but I think we can cover that under that budget. So I'm asking for that same amount of money. So if you go back to the first page, that was, as already discussed, that professional services, that's where that HR bill would come out of. So overall, total for the whole budget for the entire library, it would be approximately 15,000 more than what was budgeted for last year. 10,000 of that is the personal services for all three branches, that COLA increase, and then 5,000 of that, approximately 4,800 is for that HR piece.
Is there any questions for Emily?
And within that, I just forgot, I have some friends here from the Great Falls Library to talk about the partners piece. That would be under, on that first page, 89 of 126. The 322 books, catalogs, and brochures has been budgeted for 20,000 each year. That's for purchasing of materials like that. If the chair is fine, I would like them to be able to present on what that breakdown. The partners' money would come out of that amount, so I'm not asking for more money to do partners, but it would be increased collection. To be able to have access to books all over the state with whoever is part of partners, but they would be able to explain that better if that is okay with you.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Sarah Linder Parkinson. I'm from the Great Falls Public Library. And I have Ian, who is our partners guru, and then Amy Bismeyer, who's our new director in Great Falls. We are, we joined partners 2 years ago, two years ago. So we were one of the newer branches that joined, or newer libraries that joined. We had Lewis and Clark, is getting ready to join as well. There's 24 libraries across the state, so that would make the 25 libraries across the state that will, where we serve, and we are able to share materials across those 25 libraries through a courier system that just allows us to have more of an expanded palette for our patrons to be able to enjoy. So I would say just, what is it? We have about 150 crates at our library that come in and 150 that go out every month. Sometimes it's a little bit more. We're every courier system, or every courier, you get to choose how many days. We run a courier 5 days a week. Some libraries run them 7. We are only 5, so depending on what you guys would opt to do, we get anywhere between, I don't know, 10 to 12 bins in a day full of books that we are moving back and forth across the state. So it's been probably one of our most popular programs, has increased our checkouts dramatically, and just the things that we're able to offer. We don't have to keep every James Patterson book times 10. We don't have to all have the Louis L'Amour collection. We get to select what we have, and it does allow us the opportunity to do some selective purchasing, but also some collaborative purchasing if we need to or want to. So that's been a life changer for many of our patrons, and we have we serve 6 Hutterite colonies in Cascade County, and the things that those kids in the colony schools are able to read is really limited based on what they're allowed to check out and look at. And so it has opened up their world to be able to expand and go in and put things on hold from so many libraries, that it just really makes a huge difference to them as well as to their parents. Because when they're in the colonies, they can only have certain historical fiction or Christian fiction, and so it's really expanded what they are able to check out, and it has increased the authors that they are able to explore. So I think it's a fabulous purchase. It is expensive, or it can be, but it is, you're on the MSC already, so you're already paying that cost. I would say adding the courier or the partner program to that is a definite bonus to being part of the MSC, and it just opens up what you can offer and is available. The other thing is if you were to join, Great Falls would probably be your hub. So we would separate and sort things and send them out through the courier to you. So it does give you a more local and quicker delivery process.
So she mentioned theirs is 5 days a week. I've talked to libraries of our comparative size who have 1 or 2 deliveries per week. It would be for Fort Bend and Big Sandy would have courier stops. Our whole catalog, so that includes the Geraldine books and Geraldine patrons, all of our patrons would have access to this benefit. And Sarah, we have met and talked before. She has very generously offered for any staff and trustees who would like to go to Great Falls to watch that process. They will walk us through that, and also, like they came today, would come and help us to launch that. So we right now only participate with ILL, interlibrary loan. Carolyn sent one out today. It's by weight. If it's if a book is under £1, it costs $4.11 to mail it. Our fee right now is only $4 that we charge patrons. Most books, like she weighed it today after she got it packaged, it weighed in at £1, 1 ounce. So then you have to pay the next higher amount, which is $4.96 per book. And I sent one out a few weeks ago that was just over £3, which is up to $5.26. So and that's a cost that the patron pays. But this being part of partners is we will pay the library pays that as part of being part of the system. So then it's free to patrons, which will increase access to just you can get a book from Great Falls for free.
Yeah.
So that would be under the 20,000 that's on that first page from the Fort Benton part. So that would not come out of the Big Sandy or Geraldine book purchasing budget.
So it's essentially opening up all those libraries
Right. Yes.
for our patrons.
For our patrons, yes.
So is there a set fee or is it based upon usage?
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay.
It's,
We're all married to them.
No, I was trying to find a document because it was talking about the, what it saves you. It's like, 20 cents a book or something when we use the courier system and through partners. It is, for partners, it is a set fee based on, the size of your library, I believe, or is what the material you're gonna process through. The courier is based on, you pay a fee for the bin.
Yes.
But sending through courier, is much cheaper than sending through the mail. And your ILLs can also be included in the courier if they're going to other libraries that are, in state, or on our courier route. So it actually will save you money on your ILLs as well.
Could I ask what that means, please? ILL?
Interlibrary loan, sorry.
So, when you talk about walking through the process, explain to me what that means. I don't understand what walking through the process is.
So there's a process so a patron will put a library book on hold at a partner library. So if I put a book on hold, let's just say from Missoula then sends it goes onto their hold list. A staff member will then go pull the hold and then put it in transit status, check it in, and then put it in transit to our library. So it comes to me. They then will put that on a cart, and then that cart is separated in our office, we have Ian, and he separates that, and then he puts them into the crates where they belong, because they go, our crates are for like Missoula, Kalispell, Wild City, and then we do a sort crate for Missoula where it goes they sort it in Missoula to go to several different libraries. So there they would put it in the Great Falls crate. It would then go to the courier the next day, and then the courier would pick it up and bring it to their hub, their sorting stations, and then it gets sent to Great Falls, where then we would check it in, and when it triggers a hold, then we would put it on our hold shelf so somebody could come and pick it up, and it notifies them that it's available. That process, just walking through all of the pieces of that, it's really important to look and see what that looks like, to make sure you have the space to be able to do that, but also the staff, the equipment, and all of the things necessary to be able to perform that task.
So do we buy our own crates?
Each library does buy their own crates. Right now, the state has found money and we just changed all of our crates. So the state has just purchased 1,000 crates and bungees and bags and all of the things for us. And so I think each library is required, based on size, to buy 5 crates a year, maybe. The bigger libraries purchase more. So it's just dependent on your size. The state will put out something that says, this is what we'd like you to purchase. The crates we used to buy were $58 a crate, and we have found a better option that is $7 or $17 a crate, I believe is what they are.
Okay.
So it's a drastic change.
Yeah.
And so that's how the state had some money that they were able to help us out that. And a lot of the big libraries like Missoula, Kalispell, we do end up purchasing extra just because we realize that we have the largest volume going in and out. Helena will probably be in the same boat, but I feel like they, because we have the largest volume, we're probably utilizing more of the crates, so we do tend to purchase more than others.
So do we utilize the service online? Like if we wanted to put a book on hold, do we have to go to a librarian and say, this is the book? Or can you do it online?
You can do it online, or you
Through
can do
the-
it at a with a librarian. There's actually an app you can download, you can put on your phone that you can utilize. That
It's
if you're
not
part of
Libby though.
It's not Libby, no, it's called the Montana Shared Catalog,
Oh,
and it's an app
okay.
that's available to you
Okay.
as a shared catalog. If
Sure.
you're already in the shared catalog.
Sure.
You can download the app and use it right on your
Sure.
phone. You can go to Enterprise and you have Enterprise, that what you use, and you can put it on hold there, or you can ask the librarian to do it. There's a lot of different options. The other cool part about partners that I like to always talk about is some of us like the vacation. So if you're going to Kalispell and you don't want to take that suitcase full of books with you, when you go, you can actually use your library card here. Once you're part of the partners, you can use your Fort Benton library card and go to any partner library, check things in, or return them to that library. So you don't have to drag stuff with you. It's been really helpful for some of our homeschool families that do take those odd vacations. They check out a whole bunch from Kalispell, they return to Great Falls, or vice versa. So it's been really, really great for them to have that opportunity. But I think that's the coolest piece, is that we can use our cards at other places. One of the things we don't talk a lot about is that if a book is damaged, so if your book is damaged in Fort Benton book is damaged in Great Falls, and somebody comes to pay for the damage, that money is not forwarded back to you. I want to be really honest about that, because the transferring of money back and forth is very difficult. So in the end, when they look at it, it often evens out, because if you have a book from Great Falls that's damaged by one of your patrons and they pay for it, you also keep the money here. You don't transfer it back to us, so it doesn't become an accounting nightmare. So that's one of the things that was not really explained when we first joined. But if somebody has a library card from here and they move to Great Falls, that library card is canceled. You then get a card at the new partner library, so that you're getting your holds in the right location and your notices at the right place.
I think currently this might be not the right price point right now, but when I got an out of county card for Cascade County, it was $35 that I went up and paid. And so then there would not be fees like that anymore. You would have access to Great Falls materials for free.
Yeah, so it's $30.
partner.
Yeah.
When I was looking at the budget, I was looking at these crate fees. There's a lot of pieces. That was what I wanted. So to come under our operating expenses, under the Fort Benton account, which is line item 220, there is room for the purchase of crates and bungees and ties and things.
Yeah.
There would be room under that already. So the 220 or 322, I'm sorry, would be for the actual courier and just fees associated with partners. So again, I'm not asking for any more money to become part of this program. I'm explaining under this budget what that would look like. So it expands the collection access to books at not in a different cost than what is right here.
You said 220 operating expenses?
Yes.
Okay. And then also books and catalogs?
Yes.
Okay.
That's where that money, I did talk to Diana to make sure. Cheryl Scott often said that it's the big bottom number that we have to look at. The money can move around within those line item accounts. So then it would be covered.
So we have to get a new card then? We have to
No. If you were to move, like if you moved to Great Falls, you would get a new card to make sure your books were coming to the right place. But right now you can drive to if we become partners, you can drive to Great Falls and get a book. Then you could return it here, or you could return it in Big Sandy, or have Haver on it.
No, Haver's not.
No, I can't return it there. But you could return it at any partner library. And then it would make it back to Great Falls without you having to send it or go back to Great Falls.
With your current card?
Yes, with your current card.
And you can place it on hold, and then it can come here, or it can go to Big Sandy for you to pick up, and you don't even have to drive to Great Falls.
Yep.
Thank you. You're welcome. If you have any more
Okay.
questions?
And I think
Yeah.
book kits are included, right?
Book kits are,
Can be on
yeah.
the courier, yep.
Kids
So
are
we,
included, yeah.
we utilize book kits, from other libraries a lot,
Oh.
Great Falls a lot.
Oh, well, as a member of a book club, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, no, and
Yeah,
that's,
and Laurel's would be open because Laurel has a ton of kits and Missoula,
Yeah.
all book kits across the state,
Yeah.
if you're in the partners, are available to be shipped through partners.
yeah,
Wow.
and so that would be covered. Right now to ship, it's, I wanna say at least $13 for the box, and that's at the media rate. Per book kit, so,
The postage is terrible.
yeah, so this, yeah, that's. Anyway, this is my recommended budget. But yes, there will need to be another meeting to.
We'll have another meeting to pass it.
Yes, to approve it.
Okay.
And I can't remember if it's by June 10th or June 12th, but it can just be a Zoom meeting.
What if, I will be gone then. What?
It doesn't have to be on that day, it just has to be.
Give us the actual day and then I can send
I
out
will.
when you have time, I know right now.
Okay,
And that's
good.
why you mentioned it would be an emergency.
We would just have to post it for $8.
It would just be one item on the
Yes.
agenda.
Yeah.
So even if I'm somewhere and I have my computer,
You could zoom in.
okay. All right.
Any other questions about the budget? For Emily, before we move on? Okay. I'll call for public comment. This is items on the agenda, but under the jurisdiction of the board, so this is items not on the agenda. Once again, please come up to the microphone, state your full name, and please have all comments remain under 3 minutes.
I guess that's me, Janet Ward. So, well, thank you guys for all delved along into our library, and I'm here to speak about an issue that's been very important and I care about. So last year, Jesselyn was sick and we didn't have two of the trustees we have now, okay? And I just want to say that you received my comments today with an open opinion. Give me some grace, okay? And because I did leave the library directorship, the trustee early because of medical issues, but I know we all want the best what's for a library, okay? So I will address the issue about wages from last year, okay? The reality is the Big Sandy Library is full-time, 40 hours, manages one other employee, and also one does stuff. So the Geraldine Library has no supervision duties and has a workload of 11 to 5, 4 days a week. This is the hours within the library, which compress of 24 hours. Last year, when I was on the board, we added 6 hours to her salary because she teaches the democracy program at the school. Now, I don't know if this is weekly or if this is monthly, but she does get an extra 6 hours for this duty. Now, I don't even think it's in the summer, but if it's not, that's been an extra $2,000 to her salary, okay? So, and when we looked through everything last year, I have not talked to any librarians, I haven't talked to any trustees about this, but the raise then was 50 cents, okay? Now, Darlene, okay, or the Big Sandy librarian, has more than doubled the tenure. The Geraldine Library's been there 4 years. The Big Sandy Library's been there 9 years, okay? She steered the branch through multiple budget cycles, community shifts, operation challenges with several changes of directors, 3 directors, okay? Compensating for tenure rewards are like a loyalty or a show of balance or equity, and they're just proper, okay? They're good leadership. So as you look at the salaries and you make your adjustments, you should ensure that the pay scale reflects the responsibility, having years of employment with the library, and to show that you value that librarian or that employee not that you undervalue her. Okay? So, and the last comment
I'm
is,
sorry, that's the end of your time,
okay,
but thank you very much for your comments.
yes.
Is there any further public comment on items not on the agenda but under the jurisdiction of the board?
Excuse me, I don't read these things very well. Where does it say? Where does it say they're getting an increase? Where is that? I'm sorry, there's too many students.
It's 76 cents or something, didn't you say?
Yes, that's what she said.
If you go to
This page.
this last page,
Oh. Yes,
Have the new budget proposed.
okay,
the Chouteau County Personal Services worksheet.
okay,
It does not say 76 cents on there, but I added 76 cents to each person's. What they are being paid this year. The county itself does not have a step program for years ago.
All right, any further public comment? All right, our next meeting is June 24th, 2026. This is at noon at the Fort Benton Library Branch. Could I please have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I moved to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, lady.
Where's it say? About that?
It doesn't,
Well, it was
doesn't
just
have
that you have to look at the previous spreadsheet to see the
Oh.
difference.